Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be doing something a little special. Now, I just got done transplanting this Brussels sprout into this 1 gallon container or 1 gallon bucket. And I've got more 1 gallon buckets. So what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to eliminate so many mason jars out of my cracky setup. And if you guys see my garden tour video, then you guys know that I have a lot of mason jars. Excuse me. And it's kind of a pain in the butt, especially for these bigger plants, because they just continuously drink water. And so it's like every other day I have to go in there and I have to check on water and all this stuff. So I'm trying to eliminate some of the headache from this. And I picked up these 1 gallon pails, 1 gallon buckets, whatever you want to call them. And we're going to start using these in our cracky setups for the bigger plants. Now, you guys did not come here to see me transplant a plant. You guys actually probably came here to see what I'm actually going to do. So I got some peppers here that I germinated, and we have jalapeno, I got Hungarian hot wax, and I have poblanos. Now, the poblanos, from what I know, they get a little bit bigger. So I'm probably going to put the poblanos inside these 1 gallon containers. And probably a Hungarian hot wax or two. Okay. And for the jalapenos, I'll probably just stick the jalapeno in a mason jar right now until I get me some 1 gallon buckets. I only got 6 1 gallon buckets. I've done 3 transplants already, so we only have 3 buckets to kind of play around with. But yeah, I thought, let's go ahead and do that. Not only are we going to do this little change, but here lately I've been trying to get away from using so much rock wool and so much of the pebbles, delicables, and I seen another YouTuber do this, and what he did was he has cheesecloth. So this is organic cheesecloth. Okay, you can get this stuff on Amazon. All right, and you can stick it in your net pot like this. You almost create like a wick, okay? And then you can take perlite, or you can take cocoa. All right, this is a coco-perlite mix. This is by, I think this company is called Happy Trees. All right, and they had a pretty good review for them. And yeah, this stuff is pretty good. I've actually have 1 pepper plant already growing in this stuff, so I thought, what the heck, we can go ahead and start like a seedling inside of it as well. And I think it's 50-50 mix, or it's 70-30, nope, 70-30 cocoa and 30 perlite. It actually says it right there on the back of the package right here, so on the ingredients. So that's pretty cool. You can use this stuff in hydroponics, anything, okay? And we are going to be using hydroponics. I'm not going to fill this pail up with this stuff. What we're actually going to be doing is I got some pails behind me that's already filled up with water, and I'm going to fill it up with the hydro nutrients, okay? But this cheesecloth is going to act like a wick, so it's going to wick up into the cocoa, and then it kind of feeds the plants like that. And then I think the roots will go through that cheesecloth when they get bigger. So the other pepper plant I have growing right now, it seems to be doing fine like this. I'm pretty sure this will work. We're going to find out. Like I said, this is just kind of a test and just doing something a little different from the traditional cracky kind of setup. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me get make sure this is not going to tip over for the 5th time. Let me go ahead and get a pail that's actually full of water. Okay, so we have a pail full of water. And we're actually gonna have to make a new lid as well. So I'm gonna take the empty pail because I don't want to dump nasty stuff inside of our pail of water here. I'm gonna roll that thing, the happy trees up, so if it does fall over, it's not gonna spill. Okay, I need to go get the drill. We gotta make some lids. I've got 3 more lids. I need to make here. So here's 2. And then here is the 3rd one. Okay, so we gotta make 3 lids. I'll show you how we make 3 lids. Super simple, super easy. And then we will, we'll get planting. Okay, so the way that we make these holes, I'm on the 4. All right, I like to put an empty lid on top of the bucket. Okay, so when we drill through it, we're not dirtying up our water or anything like that. And like we did before, we're going to start until it catches. We're just going to put it right in the middle. And as soon as it catches, see how it caught right like that? We're going to go in reverse. Okay, we're going to put some pressure on this. Alright, that's all we gotta do. Alright, and it makes a smooth cut. When we do that, the cut is super, super smooth, okay? So there ain't no like rough edges or anything like that. And even if there are a little bit of rough edges, it's not the end of the world. And yeah, I stuck my drill bit through the hole there. Press down. We'll let it catch. Go in reverse. Okay. Quick and easy. That's how you make net cup lids. And yeah, it works. Okay. Now, if your lids, if they actually fit on top of the bucket properly and it's kind of snug, it's a lot easier. But when you're using these flimsy lids that just kind of sit on top of the bucket, just be careful and kind of take your time with it. Okay, so now that we have our buckets done, or our lids rather, let's go ahead and get a bucket full of water, and we're going to use this bucket right here. Alright, let's go ahead and get the nutrients set up. Now, because these are seedlings, we're not going to pump them full of nutrients, okay? I do not like to give my seedlings a lot of nutrients at the very start. We do have to give them some cow mag. Probably going to give them about a half a milliliter here of cow mag. Okay. And we are using the Drip Hydro nutrient line. So we're going to do base B, flex, base A. And with base A, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour maybe a half a teaspoon in here. Okay, that's about a half a teaspoon right there. Nothing more than that. Okay, we don't want to, I'm not trying to kill these guys. I need to get another napkin here. I thought I had one, but I guess I do not. All right, we're going to do the same thing with base B. I'm going to stir this in real good. Okay. Now we're going to do base B. About a half a teaspoon. It's good. Let's mix that in real well. And then for our flex, I'm just going to use 1 milliliter. Okay. So we use flex on plants that produces flowers. Okay. Now we need to decide what input are we going to put in this. Okay, we could use the Great White. I've got Orca. We might do. Let's do Orca for this one. Okay, let's do some Orca. So Orca is a half a milliliter per gallon. This is almost a gallon, and you can go a little over on the Orca. So we're going to do about a full milliliter. Okay. Stir that in real good. Check the ppm. And I'm setting at about a 285 ppm, which is pretty good. I'm okay with 285 because, like I said, these are seedlings, and we don't want to dose them. We just need enough nutrients to kind of get them started. Okay, so let's get one of our lids. We're going to get our net pot. That is a 3-inch net pot. Now, on our net pot, we are going to have about a quarter of water that's going to be sitting in there. Now, with that water being a quarter way up, I kind of want that anyway because this cheesecloth is going to wick up that moisture and put it in that cocoa for the plant. Okay, so having a quarter of water in there, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, I'm actually glad that there's a little bit of nutrients in there that's going to be soaking up some of that nutrient. Okay, so we're going to take our cocoa. Now this is a 3-inch net pot, like I said, and I'm just gonna dump this stuff in there. One problem with soil, or anything with soil, is it does make a mess a little bit. And this stuff has been kind of fluffy, but this one right here is it's a little hard. It is a little hard. It's not. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this small brick right here, but it is a little. It's not as fluffy as the rest of it, but it should be okay. It should be quite all right. I'll just take a pair of scissors here, and I'll beat it down a little bit. There we go. That seems to be doing the trick to kind of fluff it out a little bit, make it a little bit better. Because there we go. And I'll just fluff this stuff up. Okay, I'm gonna try to get as much of this stuff off of the edges as possible here. Okay, and now just like any other plant, we make a little hole in the cocoa, and then we can actually put our little plant in there. And as long as you know, as long as it's nice and wet, and we don't kill the roots on this little guy. So this is the poblanos, or poblano, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take apart this this cotton ball here. And I'll tell you what, when cotton is wet, it is it's actually kind of difficult to peel. We don't want to kill the roots. That's something I don't want to do. I don't want to hurt these seedlings, because we only got 2 of them. Oh, I see the roots. Okay, that's good. It does have roots. It's kind of a messy thing to do with the cotton ball method. Okay, there's one. And I think I can probably just leave a little cotton on there. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. But that's the plant that we're going to be planting in. Okay. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it in there. Okay, stick it in there, and then what should happen is the cheesecloth will wick up the moisture from the water in the pail, right? The plant then, the root, should dive deeper into the water. Okay, so that's what I'm hoping that's going to happen. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. I could be mistaken, but we'll see. I'm not. I kind of understand. I understand hydroponics, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand soil or any soil-based stuff that much. Okay, that's a part of my game that I'm trying to work on. But regardless, there it is. Okay, I need to get my label. Okay. Poblanos, and then we put, today is the 2/11/26, and then we put Orca. Okay. Oh, and then to start, I've started doing something else too. So we're going to put this on the pail, but I'm also going to put another date on the pail, and because I have start putting the start date of the seedlings on my seed starter. So I started the seed on 2/1. Okay, so I'll just say start was 2/1/26. Okay, and I'll put that on there as well, just so we have a record of how long the plant's been going. And boom, that is another plant finished. Okay, so we got one of the poblanos set up in that cocoa and that perlite. Now what we're going to be doing with the other one is we're going to be just doing a traditional cracky kind of setup. The reason I have 2 plants is because, well, we're going to be testing out that that poblano in that cocoa And I wanted a backup plant just in case that things don't go too well for that one. Okay, so we have our RO water, and you guys have seen me do this. We add our CalMag first, and again, pretty much gonna feed it the exact same way that we fed the other one. Okay, we're gonna do about a milliliter of CalMag. All right, I'm gonna stir it up. Okay, I'm gonna do base A, and I'm going to do about a half of a teaspoon. That's about a half. Okay. So throw that in there. Stir it up real good. Then we got our base B. Again, about a half. That's a little bit more than a half, but should be all right. Okay, put the lids on those. And then for our flex, now we add our flex because this, again, this is a flowering plant. Okay, and flex helps with the flower. We're just going to be doing about a milliliter. Okay, a little less than a full milliliter. We'll check the ppm, and if the ppm's not too high, then we should be about done with this. And then we got to cut the rock wool. Now, if you notice in any of this, I haven't checked the pH. I know the pH on my RO water, it sets about 6. Okay, so I don't really worry about the pH when it's coming directly from the RO filter. The only time I really worry about the pH, really not even in my cracky setups, but it's more in my DWC setups, and it's when the water has been setting for a couple weeks. Okay, I keep a tally of all the pHs and stuff, and maybe I'll share that with you guys sometime. But it's just a piece of paper that I write on. And I go through all my DWC containers and I tally up the ppm and I tally up the pH. Okay, so that's the reason I really don't check the pH in these cracky setups. The ppm is about 390. I don't know if you guys can tell this on the screen, but it's about 390. Which, you know, it's a little higher than the other one, but it should be fine. It's okay, same thing. We are I'm making sure that I keep a little bit of water in the back, in the bottom of this net pot right here. Okay, that way the rock wool can sit in there and it can kind of do its thing. All right, and then I will show you this. I use these bigger cubes. I don't know if these. I think these are like inch cubes. Okay, take a knife. We just cut it halfway, make a slit, okay, and then I take my little plant and I will stick it down in there, okay, and it still has this little cap on, but it'll, that should be fine. Actually, I just took it off, so yeah, that should be fine, and as long as it has enough space, and it should be good. So we'll stick a big old cube down in there. Let that rock wool kind of soak up some of that water and those nutrients. And then I need some pebbles. All right, so we'll put some pebbles in here. Oh, you know what we forgot? I'll tell you what we forgot. We forgot our inputs. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting a little tired. That's all right. So I'm going to take this off super fast. All right, and I have another container. So we're going to use this before we put it in, because I want to put in Great White for this. I totally forgot that. Okay, so we're going to do our Great White super fast. So Great White is it's a teaspoon. Well, it's about a half a teaspoon per. I think it's per 1 teaspoon per 10 gallons, which would be a half a teaspoon per 5 gallons. So it's going to be about a quarter of a teaspoon. Maybe not even that. I mean, it's going to be very, very, very little, considering this is just a little less than a gallon of water. So I'm not going to be dosing this thing up. Okay, just a tad bit. Okay, about that much. But I did want to put something in there, because I do think that these mycorrhiza fungi, I do think it helps out the water and it helps out the roots. Okay, so we mix that stuff in real good. And this doesn't affect the ppm or anything like that, so we're not going to check the ppm again. All right, cool. So that's about it with this plant. So now we just, again, make our little label. Poblanos. And then I'll put today's day is 2/11/26. Okay. And then I'll make another label with the start date. Oh, and I need to put GW on here. Great White. GW. Okay, and then we make one more label for the start time, which is, or the start date on the seedlings there, which was 2/1. I'll show you how to do this. So just start 2/1/26. Hopefully you guys can read that. Okay, that's all I do. Just use masking tape, magic marker, works great, and it's cheap. Alright. Bam. And we're done. That is about it. Now for the rest of these, I'm probably going to just do these off camera. You guys probably don't want to see me doing, 10 different plants. But what I'm going to do is I have one more pail here, and I'm going to stick, I'm probably going to stick one of these Hungarian hot waxes in another pail, and then the other one, and the jalapeno. The jalapeno is not ready yet. It's barely even got anything. So I'm going to let it kind of, I'm going to let it mature a little bit more. But the Hungarian hot wax, alright, the Hungarian hot wax, it's ready to rock and roll. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that on camera. And this thing is going in a, it's going to go in a gallon bucket. And the other one, I think the other one's just got to go in a mason jar, because I don't have any more buckets. I'm kind of out. So I want to thank everyone for watching. If you have learned anything in this video, please think about giving me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It does help out. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, anything like that, feel free to always leave them down below. I do get back to you guys. And we will kind of, I don't know, we'll keep up with these two plants right here that I planted, and we'll see which one, see if any of them die, or if if they both just kind of if they kind of thrive. I will make a separate video showing you guys where I'm keeping it on my greenhouse rack. Okay, so you guys kind of get an idea. I'm trying to kind of keep all the seedlings together, but we'll see with space and everything like that. Okay, so again, thanks for watching, and show me your garden. Bye guys, peace.